This is LCC Radio, WLNZ 89.7 here in Lansing, Michigan. You're listening to the Lansing Online News Radio Show with Bonnie Bucqueroux and Bill Castanier. And as you can tell, my voice is 2 or 3 octaves lower. This is why, even as a child, people would say to me when I was a little kid, "And what would you like, sir?" So if my voice is a little too low, we'll just go with that. I'm soon to be joined by my co-host Bill Castanier, who has a couple announcements to make. But I'm going to go ahead and introduce our first guests. Our first guest, we have a trio of people here. You can't see, we're not live broadcasting tonight, but we will be doing something first here on Lansing Online News Radio. We will be doing a Twitter giveaway, so all of you who have your cell phones at the ready or your laptop on your lap, get ready because we're log into Twitter because we're going to try something new here. We have Lindsay Gluff, Dylan Rogers, and Dan Nunez from the Lansing Unionized Vaudeville Spectacle. Rio Town is hosting a show on Saturday night, 2 shows. You're going to be down there with the show at what times?
6:30 and 9 p.m.
6:30 and 9 p.m. And tell us about what the LUVS, L-U-V-S, Lansing Unionized Vaudeville Spectacle, what do they do? What kinds of acts do they have? We have our director here, and that is Dylan Rogers, who's going to give us a bit of background.
That's right. So we're coming on 4 years that we've been a troupe. We've gone through a number of different lineups, and at this point I believe we are at about 15 members. That counts, I think, something like 11 musical artists, as well as 4 or 5 at this point shadow puppeteers, creative team people. We have dancers, folks who do comedy and other theatrical elements that get involved too. So we combine an energetic musical live show with a variety of different simultaneous performance aspects, shadow puppets and the like.
Is that period music or original music, or do you mix the two?
We do almost entirely original material. We'll do a few throwbacks. I know we delve back into some New Orleans jazz and some classic Americana novelty material, but we also draw our influences from these older genres that...
So they're inspired by that.
That's right.
Era. Because vaudeville was big. It had turn of the century up to the 1930s, the motion picture industry, the Nickelodeons kind of put them out of business, and it was a lot cheaper to just put in a movie projector and a sheet and one piano player than to have to bring in the whole band in the pit and that kind of thing. But it's a genre that stayed lively.
That's right, and the whole point for us is to provide something that entertains. So it's not high art. We want something that reaches out and grabs our audience. So as opposed to, we don't have, dogs jumping through hoops.
This show.
I'd loan you Lemmy.
This show.
We're not closing any doors either.
Right.
I'll let you work with
cats.
Lemmy.
The cats
Little Lemmy would be
Maybe there'll be a lot of cats at the show. I don't know.
So you've sort of reinvented vaudeville for the modern era. There are touches of yes, no, or fairly traditional.
I actually those are your words, but I don't think it's inaccurate. We do things with projection technology to work on puppet shows. We use modern technology to create props and backdrops and costumes.
When you say shadow puppets, do you mean hands against the screen kind of shadow puppets?
Oh no, I'm
or
not that talented.
Bodies against the screen? or-
No, we have a couple of classically trained shadow puppeteers, and by that I mean we're just people holding sticks behind a screen with a light behind us, and it's remarkably magical. Just that simple effect, and it's kind of interesting how rarely you see it done, considering how magical it is, for lack of a...
In my first lecture every semester, in my Intro to Mass Media, I show a YouTube of shadow puppets that actually show the rise of the Nazis.
Oh, wow.
And it's quite dramatic because it goes from beautiful swans and nice happy things to the rise of the Nazis in Nazi Germany. And then at the end moment, it is an ad for a car.
What?
Which is really kind of awful at that point, because you've had this big emotional journey. Shadow puppets are so beautiful, and then they hit you with Buy an Audi, I think it is.
Really?
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
Oh
because,
my gosh.
Yeah, so but shadow puppets are really moving.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we're not gonna go that deep in this show. We're more like I believe there's a jelly roll
There is.
as one of my shadow puppets. Not a lot of political.
Lots of fruit and vegetable.
Yeah, more like we're really brave on that stance.
They were big on leather boots marching.
Yeah, we're more like just fruits and vegetables.
Fruits and vegetables,
Maybe
I'll
some
go with
strong
that.
men in there. There's going to be some variety of shadow
Yeah.
puppets.
So
All
what
edible.
what is the
How many are in the cast? You may have asked that already, but
Well, I think we're at. We did a head count at the last rehearsal. I think we were at 15.
okay.
Yeah.
and you're going to be in what facility?
So Dylan and his lovely wife Gina D, Alan Rogers, purchased a building in Riotown over the summer, which will be sneak
about
peek into seeing the building. It won't officially open until next August 2015. It's the Robin Theater.
Yeah. So.
So you're squatters in this building.
Well, more or less.
I think they own it.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Yeah, we do own it.
There's not a lot of seating.
We're in the process of renovating, and we didn't want to be the people that purchased a building in this kind of Renaissance zone in Lansing. We love Riotown. I actually spent the first 10 years of my life living in that neighborhood. We didn't want to be the people that purchased a building and then we spent a year working on it but never reached out to the community to let them know what we were doing. So we do have a lot of work ahead of us. Like Lindsay said, we have a goal of August 2015 to be open with our regular schedule. We'll be building a permanent stage, and we have a lot of work to do. But what we've done for this performance is, with the help of Riotown and our neighbors, especially Mr. Ryan Wirt, we've put in a temporary stage, temporary lighting, and built ourselves a little mini vaudeville hall. Capacity isn't huge. Looks like about 90 for each of our 2 shows. But we really just want to allow the community an opportunity to come in, see what we're doing, talk to us, leave a suggestion in the suggestion box. And our guitar player, another multi-talented person, has been doing a computer-generated mock-up of our vision for the space come August. So you'll be able to see what we're working
The
towards.
CAD rendering? That kind of thing?
Yeah, with a little bit more illustration to it.
Shadow puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly going to be shadow puppets.
Okay.
Fruit
Yeah.
and vegetables.
There's nothing you can't express with shadow puppets. At least I
A
think
sheet
that
and a
now.
flashlight.
Yeah.
I just bought a Little Red Riding Hood in Shadow Puppets. A book.
Oh, did you really? Oh,
cutouts.
cool.
It's a children's
Beautiful.
book. It is really cool. It's done in Germany.
Wonderful.
Oh, really?
But
Now,
you-
we are going to do an experiment here. We are going to use Twitter. And if you are the first person to use the hashtag 517 LUVS, for Lansing Unionized Vaudeville Spectacle, then you will be the proud possessor of free tickets for the time of your choice for a show on Saturday night, if you are the first. And we will be checking that Twitter account to see if anybody in our audience is still with the cold like I've got. I'd be lucky to get to the phone. So I'm hoping that somebody can get to the phone and put in hashtag 517 LUVS.
Not the phone.
No,
The computer.
The computer.
well,
Phones do that
Oh,
too
your
these
phone, yeah,
days.
I
that's
know.
right.
No, I think they cross
Yeah, they
those.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
Bill still has not tipped over into the smartphone era.
I have a semi-smartphone.
He has a
I just don't like it. What was some of your experiences in renovating that building? I mean, I know it has nothing to do with your show, but it's enjoyable to hear
It's
other
a fun
people's problem.
story. Yeah, right. It's fun. Well, so it's a 2-story mixed-use space, commercial on the first floor, residential above. Eventually, we will be living upstairs. We've completely gutted the second story. So if you've ever done, and Gina D, who's so much more handy than I am, she's kind of the director, the forewoman, if you will, of the project, has been really directing this renovation. But yeah, we've gutted that building and we're doing it all ourselves. So it's a long, extended process. But we've been finding that it's actually rather beautiful underneath all the things that the building was built in 1917, and so over the years, painted the hardwood floors.
Right.
You put the linoleum over that. You put the carpet over that.
If you dig down deep enough, that's nice.
Right, exactly. So we're finding that underneath this building's really beautiful.
Cool.
And that's just been great.
Will you be renting this out to other groups too, or
Absolutely.
other music groups? That's what I thought. When it
Yeah,
comes out. It'll be some. I mean, I hate to make comparisons, but it'd be somewhat like Creole Gallery was at one time.
Sure, you're spot on. We're modeling it after kind of like a fusion of a few different places that we've loved in the area. I hesitate to say that we would be renting it out. One reason why we are sure this is going to be a successful venture is that we as artists and performers have noticed that sometimes it feels like there's a lack of maybe dignified places for creative people to share their work and for people interested in the performing arts to come see something. That's for a number of reasons, and I think one issue can be the pay-to-play model at some of these venues, and we'd really like to be a community-centered location where we collaborate more with local artists and performers rather than doing kind of like you can rent out our space. So.
Well, one of the things I'm honor bound to say, because my husband, right, is in the other vaudeville troupe in town. I mean, Lansing has an abundance of vaudeville people.
Yeah.
I mean, they are blessed with vaudeville people in this community, and he has a show at the same night at Oktoberfest in the Old Town. So we have vaudeville in Old Town. We have vaudeville
One's
in
indoor,
Rio Town.
one's out of doors. I'll point that out.
There is a tent involved.
Yeah.
There is also beer involved. That's how you can get away with
There's
putting
beer
people
involved
in
here.
tent.
I thought.
As a matter of fact, we are partnering with Sleepwalker Brewing Company.
You are? Oh, the same people from
So-
the Allen Marketplace.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, they recently got, I think, their full approval by
They
the state.
did just a few
Yeah.
weeks
Yep.
ago.
Yep. So they're actually brewing us a special lager. It's called our Dark LUVS lager.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
just for the
great.
band,
That's
so
very cool.
which will be on tap on Saturday,
Yeah, yeah.
along with a couple other their lovely beers. We'll have a food cart there, the kitchen sink, which is from Ann Arbor,
Cool.
Stella's Stegosaurus.
Oh, yeah.
From
I want to
Reach
hear
will
more
be-
about that.
Yeah, you should.
Okay, this is Dan, shadow puppet guy. But it's not all just about shadows. Sometimes it's about light. I've got Stegosaurus that I was lucky enough to build with some at-risk teens over in Lansing at Reach Studio Arts Center on the behalf of Live Green Lansing, which is a recycling initiative, I think, that was started by the Board of Water and Light. And basically I made a big Stegosaurus with the help of a bunch of kids out of recycled materials, and it's covered in LED lights and pretty cool, if I do say so myself. And it's going to be outside of the venue when we perform on the 11th. So
You can do that legally?
I mean, what's legal in this? No,
I don't know.
yeah, we
The only
can do
reason I
that
ask
legally. It's
the
a
reason I ask
float.
is that guy that put up that inflatable on top of the roof for Maker Faire down on Michigan Avenue had to take it down because it was illegal.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not going for the roof so
I
much.
mean,
That's-
like, what was wrong with that? Who's it hurting?
It was designed originally to be a float for something like Silver Bells, so
Okay.
the thing's mobile. By the time the cops get there, we'll just be
It's
gone.
all, the
It's
lights
just-
are out.
What
I
dinosaur?
always hope that the police have something better to do.
Yeah,
That's
no.
kind of what I thought when they had to go tell somebody to take
We
down
are
an inflatable
over-policing our community.
dinosaur.
No, if they come, I'm sure it'll just be because we need more lights with the dinosaur. I don't think it'll be to stop.
So
it.
how long does the show last? It goes 90 minutes, 2 hours? How long will people expect that?
We'll have a full hour set, and it will be combination comedy show, some dance numbers, shadow puppeteering, and originals from our new album, which is dropping on Saturday, Dream
cool.
Machine, our second studio LP.
Will they be available at the show?
They will be available on the show. And they will release on the internet on Saturday as well, so you can download from iTunes or Bandcamp or what your service of choice.
So can people go to your website and get some idea of what the show is like and watch some
Absolutely.
videos?
Yep,
and
you can
where
find-
will they find you?
Would find us at www.517luvs.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter, and you can search us on Google, and you'll probably find us on there.
Where do people park? And I mean, I know the answer to that, but people that may be listening might not know.
Right. So it could be a little confusing coming into Reotown, especially if you're not all that familiar with the area. There's free parking up and down the street. There's a city lot across the street from our building, right on Washington Avenue. If you make it in the neighborhood, there will be signs, and there will be sandwich boards up with
Oh, cool.
signage. So it'll give you a little bit more of an idea. We're excited about getting people into Reotown. Love this neighborhood. Love its grit and its character. Oldest automation alley in the States.
It's nice to have that neighborhood really starting to have some interesting
Yeah.
things going on.
Joan
It
and I
needs
just,
entertainment.
It does.
Entertainment and food.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Joan and I bought a house there over the winter, and we love the neighborhood.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm looking at properties as well. So
oh wow. There's a whole land rush going on.
Last year in the
know.
Historical Society, we did our historical walk down there, and that's when we ran across you.
Yeah.
One of the first few days that you were working in
Right.
that place.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were good enough to post that on the Lansing Historical
Yeah.
Society
And we're-
Facebook page, and there was tons of comments on what the building had been or used
Yeah,
for.
it was interesting to find out, because people know right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody needs to know anything about a building in Lansing, you just put it up there, and
Yeah.
Yep.
people know.
Yep.
This is LCC Radio, WLNZ 89.7. We've been talking with the members of the Lansing Unionized Vaudeville Spectacle, who will be having 2 shows Saturday night, October 11th, down in Reotown on Washington Street or Ave?
Ave.
Ave, yep.
And parking across the street, and we hope to see everybody down there. Remember, if you want that free ticket, do hashtag 517 LUVS.